9 o'clock this morning. OK, so a man from Whitley Bay is about to take his hobby to the extreme for charity. It's not going around on a Ferris wheel. Gordon Stewart has given himself a whole year to prepare to bike across the Arctic. Motorbike rather than push bike, but still a long, cold and probably a very slippy journey. He zoomed to the studios this week to tell me more.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle.
Bless you, you've turned up in full leathers.
Yes, Newcastle isn't the warmest place in the world, so you've always got to be fully leathered up unless it's a beautiful day.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
And also, you've brought your fabulous bike now. I know very little about bikes. This is your motorbike. Describe her to me.
Okay, so she's a Suzuki GSX 650F. She's sort of a sporty touring motorbike, and she's been bought specifically for my trip to the Arctic.
The Arctic. You'll definitely need leathers for the Arctic. Tell me why on earth you're doing this challenge.
It's to help my little brother, really. He's 15 years old now, but at the age of 9 months old, he was a near-miss cot death, and as a result, he's suffered brain damage. And there's a charity called Cerebra who've helped him and my family quite a lot by sort of providing specialist equipment like a tricycle and a modified laptop. And essentially, I'm doing it to raise funds for Cerebra, just to give something back, really.
Excellent. Why on earth the Arctic, though?
Well, I just sort of looked at the map and I was trying to find a very challenging place to go to because, I think anyone would love to jump on their motorbike and go to the south of France in the sun. So I thought what would be a real challenge is to go, where most other motorbikers really wouldn't want to go on a holiday, somewhere really challenging.
When I think of the Arctic, all I can think of is sort of sleds and dogs and sleighs. Will a motorbike work in the Arctic?
Well, for 9 months of the year, it's very cold up there and very icy, but there's sort of like about a 2 or 3 month window where there's actually no ice. It's going to be very cold, still about 3 or 4 degrees, but luckily enough that I'll be able to ride my motorbike without sliding off. So.
And have you been for a recce to see what it's like already, or are you just going to leave it to chance?
Well, I attempted the trip back in 2011 on a different motorbike, but unfortunately I was involved in a bit of an accident. I couldn't make it all the way to Nordkapp, which is the most northerly point, so this is attempt number 2 essentially, and I feel like I'm more prepared. So I've experienced the weather before, so now this is the time to truly get it right.
It must be absolutely bitter then on your bike.
It certainly does get very cold, but I've got lots of thermals that I wear, and luckily last time a friend of mine lent me his heated gloves, which you run off my battery.
What are you doing sleep-wise? Are you staying different places?
I'll be camping the whole time. The only time I'm planning not to camp is I've got a friend over in Oslo, so I'm going to go and stop with him for one night. Up in Scandinavia, you can do something called wild camping, where you can essentially just camp in the forest with the bears, so I'm going to attempt that a couple of nights, I think, to save on costs.
Oh my word, and you're going to be all on your own?
Indeed, yeah, completely solo. From my starting leg from Newcastle to Dover, I've got a few friends from the northeast joining me, and then, as I said, my friend in Norway will hopefully join me for a day or two, and then we're just going to look for other bikers along the way and see if they want to join me,
That's amazing. Are you prepared then as well for because I imagine it's pretty bleak and there's not a lot to look at?
Well, I'm actually going on a specialist training course in the summer with a company called Nomad Biker. They're ex-SAS soldiers, and they teach people to live and survive in harsh environments. So I've got a weekend course with them to get myself prepared for being alone in that sort of tundra, as it were.
What does your family and friends think? They think you're nuts?
Yeah, everyone really thinks I'm insane when I tell them about it, but...
How long is it going to take you, do you think?
So it's going to be 3 weeks there and back. It's around 6,000 miles, which is, again, part of the challenge. That's sort of as much time as I can get off work. So there and back, yeah, it's been a big challenge.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
Great. Gordon's here. He's got his schedule all sorted. Now it's just a case of getting the thermals ready, getting some sponsorship and getting some practice. Look out for him on his bike around Tyneside as well. It's bright blue and he's going to have his Arctic Ride logos in the next few weeks. So, from the Arctic to flog it.